Hey guys, Miss Courtney here from Chatterbox Pediatrics. Today I'm going to read you Amy the Dancing Bear by Carly Simon. It was almost Amy's bedtime, and she probably knew it. Her mother, a large and graceful bear, appeared in Amy's doorway and said, "Amy, my darling girl, though the moon is not yet so high in the sky, it is time you changed into your nightgown or nightshirt, or whatever you're wearing to bed these days." "Mother," pleaded Amy, "the sun is still coming through the trees. It is filtered and dappled, and the air still smells of fresh mown hay. Please let me dance in my room until the moon is a little higher and the sun is a little lower. I'm so happy with my pirouettes and so filled with joy." How could her mother argue with that? How could she cut short this delight, this artful little creature with her sunny auburn curls and her graceful turns, like tropical palms moving in the winds? So she spoke in a practical tone. "Amy, I will go into the kitchen and I will wash all the dishes. When I come back in here, I would like to see you ready for bed." "Thank you, Mother." Amy threw her hands off in another direction, and the rest of her body followed. Amy's mother went into the kitchen and washed each glass, plate, and even polished the knives and forks with a special pink polish, until each was so shiny you could see your reflection in it. Then she returned to Amy's room. "Amy," her mother's voice was more stern, "I don't see that anything has changed. Dear Mother, the sun has turned to gold and my room is filled with the magic of twilight. There is nothing I couldn't invent in here now. No step too difficult for my body to take. The birds are only beginning their good night songs, and this is just the music I have waited for. I am so inspired and not in the least bit tired. Please, oh please, let me just dance just a little bit more." Her mother, who was charmed by her daughter, could again only refuse such a pleasant little argument. So she spoke with motherly understanding. "Darling girl, you are nearly incorrigible, but this is the last time. I shall go into the living room and listen to one side of a piano sonata, and when I return, I shall expect to find you in bed, and I do mean in between the sheets." And with that command, she went into the living room and found her favorite record and put it on the turntable and sat back in the sofa with a cool glass of iced tea. As certain as the piano sonata was over in 17 minutes, so Amy's mother was certain she would find her daughter, at least in her nightgown, nightshirt, or pajamas. But sometimes Amy's mother was wrong. When she came a third time into Amy's room, Amy was in the middle of a tango with an imaginary partner, her eyes glowing and turned toward the evening sky. "Amy, you know I am not harsh or strict and never utter a sound that resembles a bark in your direction. But really, my child, you push me to the limit. Next, you'll be asking me if you can stay up dancing until the sun rises in the east. I know you think I am disobedient and disrespectful, but sometimes, Mother, my spirit rises and something in me says, stay right where you are. Do you see the moon and how it appears as the horizon? Look at the lightning bugs and the same twinkling farther up in the sky of the earthly stars. I feel I can float through the arabesque, and when the night mists drift through the window on the soft night breeze, it makes me want to dance forever. Can you believe how happy I must be?" Well, if only everyone could feel it that way. Since it was summer and there was no school, Amy's mother decided not to scold Amy. Instead, her voice was low and gentle. "All right, my darling dancing little bear, dance on. I'll be in the bathtub. I'll come in when I'm washed and dry, and by then you'll be quite tired." Amy was so happy that her mother understood that she gave a little curtsy, and then jumped impishly into her mother's arms for a big hug. Amy's mother, always somewhat of a sport, moved sleepily into the bathroom where she ran a bath, adding foam of apple blossoms so that the bubbles finally rose higher than the edge of the tub itself. When she got in this fine warm bath, she lay her head back and let herself relax very deeply. She began to think of Uncle Harry and his watch that never told the time. She thought about a recipe for baked Alaska, and she thought about piano sonatas. She thought about Amy and how much she really loved to dance. As she was thinking about the red woolen mittens she planned to knit for next fall, she drifted off into a kind of peaceful sleep that only happy thoughts can give rise to. "Mama, dearest mother, dear oh dear, it must be so late you've fallen asleep in the tub." Amy smiled down at her mother as if she were her own precious baby. Come on, it's time to go to bed. Let me dry you off. Amy reached, still in her dance, for a big soft towel that was hanging on a hook nearby. Coming out of her dreams for a minute, Amy's mother parted the bubbles as she stepped out of the tub. After she was all dry and snuggled into a loose-fitting blue nightie, Amy's mother, still blinking back sleep, let Amy lead her into her big cozy bed. Amy tucked the covers around her mother and opened the window just wide enough to let a stream of cool honeysuckled air into the room. As she kissed her mother goodnight, her mother kissed her back and noticed that Amy was finally dressed in her pajamas. She noticed too that the moon was high in the sky and that the stars were gathered into a constellation designed by the heavens to form one perfectly happy, perfectly tireless, perfectly wonderful dancing bear.